Hello, I'm Alexthehunted. You know, we talk a lot about the King of the Monsters in my videos, but today we're going to talk about the Queen of the Monsters in her very first appearance, her first movie. Yes, that's right, we're talking about Mothra, and this is her first ever movie. Well, as we know, actually, Mothra was based originally off a book. Yes, this is the first kaiju I'm reviewing that is based off a different form of media and not a movie. And I am only bringing this up because I don't have the book and I've never read the book, but I know that if I don't bring it up, you guys will bring it up in the comments. So let's get into Mothra, shall we? So our movie begins not in space for once, but the sea. As we see a boat on the sea and the sailor fails to see the storm that's on the sea, and they crash the boat. Hard and it sinks and everyone is thought to be dead and lost at sea. But we do see a rescue team going out looking for survivors. But the chances are slim since the island that they could be at was used for nuclear testing, so they are probably all, dying from having a second head right now. Well, it turns out they survived, and haven't mutated horribly and have cancer. And this was because during an interview they revealed they drank some special juice that stops the nuclear radiation from killing them. Because science and all that. So now scientists want to go to the island and have an expedition to see what the hell's going on there. And this is where we meet our wacky main character, Zenocchio. Or something like that. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with pronouncing names. He's our comic relief and main character for this movie. All in one! I'm sure that'll work. I mean, we all loved it in Gojira when Dr. Shirazawa was our main character and comic relief and having one-liners when talking about the oxygen destroyer. Even worse than my ex. That's so Shirazawa. We'll be right back after these messages. So there will be an expedition to Nero Island. It's called Nero Island, not Infant Island. It's called Nero Island. I mean, who would be dumb enough to write the wrong island name in the script and not realise until he makes the edit? Also, Takeshi Shimura is here. He has a very small role and his character doesn't even get a name, but, it's nice to see him there. So Zen goes out to get an interview with one of the expedition leaders, who doesn't want to have his picture taken for some reason. It's never really explained. He just covers his face for the whole interview and they just try to get a picture of him. It's supposed to be a comic relief scene, but it's weird. Oh, and joy of joy, this movie has a Kenny, who has a mouse and he loses it in the house, and this is clearly that Toho were going for a way more kid-friendly angle with Mothra's first movie. Oh joy. Anyway, this is also when we meet Clark Nelson, who clearly isn't the villain, even if he speaks and sits evilly.
I would require you to help me. As it is now, the press will have to trust us.
As you can see, I'm a good, nice, honest person. You can trust me. So we then cut to the expedition about to leave and set sail towards the island, and we have a band of drums playing, but it absolutely sounds like there's gunfire. Jesus Christ, they've opened fire! Return fire! Launch the torpedoes! Fire everything! So Zen makes a run for the boat as it is leaving, trying to sneak on. We never actually see him get on the boat, but it's just in the next scene he just somehow managed to get on, and he's immediately caught. So the crew soon get to the island, and we see them wearing radiation protection suits, which no one was wearing during the rescue scene, so that means that these pilots are in trouble. As the crew make it to land, they look over the island and see the majestic matte painting of a forest. They have an explore and look around the set, forest, when all of a sudden a man is attacked by tentacle hentai. Well, it's Japan, so, we all know where this is going. I know it's supposed to be a plant, but come on, this is Japan. Anyway, while being attacked, he thinks he sees two tiny women, and then he blacks out. He is soon rescued and is back on the ship. He is fine, but he's claiming that he saw two tiny women. And of course, everyone reacts normally, and completely believe him. So the crew go back to the island to see if they can find these tiny ladies. And this is a giant island with a giant forest. They'll be very hard to find. Oh wait, they find them immediately. And of course, what does Nelson do the moment he sees this amazing scientific find? He steals them, of course. What is this guy, British or something? But it doesn't go well because the moment he kidnaps the twins, the natives arrive and they have the ultimate weapon to get the twins back. Tappy rocks. So the tappy rocks scare Nelson into letting the twins go, and I'm sure they will not come back and steal them later. But with all that, they head back home to Japan, and Zen meets up with his mates to look into Nelson and comes up with quite a claim.
I don't think Nelson's an explorer. I think he's some kind of crooked international art dealer. Huh?
What? How could you not trust this guy? He just wants to explore and steal, discover new civilizations. This is also where we get our first mention of Mothra, which they basically claim is a god. Well, she is. So Nelson, off screen, has gone back to the island and is going to kidnap the twins, but the Tappy Rock tribe is back to stop him. However, Nelson has brought something that can take on the Tappy Rocks. Guns. So in this more kid-friendly kaiju movie, we have a scene where a group of invaders are slaughtering a native tribe. How very human. Seriously, what a messed up scene when you think about it. So many people get shot in this scene, and it just goes on and on and on, with Nelson just shooting so many natives. So with the twins kidnapped, the natives go back to the temple and start praying to their goddess Mothra, praying for her to return and smite the fools. And their prayers seem to be answered as the cave crumbles, revealing a giant egg. So after kidnapping these tiny women, what is Nelson going to do with them? Make a show about them, of course, and force them to sing. Yep, that sounds about right. Have an amazing discovery and make a show about it. This is King Kong all over again. Can't wait for the scene where the twins escape and climb up the Empire State Building. So yes, he shows the world the twins in his secret fairy show. Such a secret that everyone can come and see them. Yes, look at the sign. It is called the Secret Fairy Show, okay? Come on, come all, bring your kids to this secret. What a weird title for a show. Why is it a secret? How do they know that there are fairies? Really, why are people buying this? It could really easily be faked. So Nelson introduced the show, and I get some major King Kong vibes from this. You could really just cut the two scenes together.
You shall witness a miracle of nature. A true wonder of the world that I have brought back to civilization. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the miracle.
Ladies and gentlemen, look at Kong, the eighth wonder of the world.
So the fairies come out to perform, and well, thinking about it, how would this performance, work? These girls are tiny, so they would be really hard to see on stage. Really, this would be a terrible show. What? I can't see them, they're too small. The dancers are in the way, I can't see. How do we know these are real and not fake? They're so small. I want a refund. However, the twin singing is actually causing something else as we cut back to the island and we see the Japanese in, blackface. They're native dancers, but they're chanting to awaken Mothra. So a news reporter lady wants to speak to the twins and have an interview, but Nelson says no, saying that there's no point because they don't speak a word of Japanese, which makes perfect sense. So Zen and the others come in to tell Nelson to let the girls go, or else Mothra will come and kill them all, which Nelson just laughs them off, saying that the girls are clearly enjoying being enslaved and forced to perform because they're singing, so of course they like it. Even though you just said they can't speak Japanese, so how the hell do you know that? But eventually Nelson lets them go in and see the girls, and it turns out the twins do understand Japanese, and in fact they can speak Japanese. Well, not really. They say they are communicating telepathically by moving their mouths and talking. That kind of telepathy. Interesting to think that in all these Mothra movies, all the times we've seen these girls, these twins, that they haven't been talking to people, they've been talking telepathically. They've been communicating through telepathy. Interesting now that you think of it. So the twins explain that they are not worried because they know Mothra is coming for them and that she'll save them. But that also means that Mothra will just destroy everything in her path. That's right, Mothra, who will become the goddess of all life in later movies, in this movie has no issue killing everyone in her way, no matter who it is, in order to save the twins. Truly, she is the protector of all life. And we then cut back to the island with the natives chanting and asking Mothra to protect them with the power of life.
Mothra, protect us with thy power of life.
By bringing them death. So Mothra then hatches and reports come in of Mothra coming this way. But enough of that, it's time for some more Secret Fairy Show, with the girls continuing to sing, as we see Mothra swimming towards a ship that has nothing to do with this, full of innocent people that have nothing to do with this, but Mothra doesn't care as she decides to just destroy it, sinking it and more than likely killing everyone on board. Oh Mothra, you love us all. So with the news that Mothra is coming this way, everyone goes to Nelson and his goons to try and get the girls back. But they refuse, saying that it's just a coincidence.
What right have you to persecute us? We're doing nothing wrong. We will complain to the Rollistican embassy about your activities.
Yeah, I mean, all that we did was invade a native tribe, kill a load of its people, and kidnap 2 of the natives. What right do you have to persecute us? So then Zen gets into a fight with Nelson's goons. Yes, the bumbling journalist can take on 4 hired guards. So the 2 find the girls and ask if there is anything that they can do to stop Mothra from doing all that, killing and death and such. But they say that there is nothing they can do, so guess we're all screwed then. However, the scientists think they have a solution. They have found a material that will block radio waves, and think it will work on the girls, and stop them calling Mothra. Which I'm sure will work perfectly, cutting off Mothra's communication with the twins. There is no way this will probably enrage her even more. So while that's going on, the military come into action and start shooting at Mothra. And they start dropping fuel into the ocean and setting it on fire, trying to create a fire blockade. But Mothra just blows right through it and we fade to black. It is believed that Mothra is dead since she has disappeared since, going through all that fire. And not seeing her die means that she is clearly dead.
You're a little too late with this box. Mothra's dead.
Literally the next scene. So Nelson is given the radio wave box because I'm sure he can be trusted with it. Mothra is also busy destroying a dam because it's in her way and everyone is trying to evacuate because, well, the dam has burst. Zen and his group make it to the scene and we see a family making a run for it. However, the dam bursts and a baby is left on the bridge, and Mothra is not going to stop to save that kid. She's too busy killing. So Zen goes in to save the baby just as the dam collapses, water tearing through the bridge and the city. Mothra continuing her path of peace and love and death. Gotta say, this movie's been pretty good so far. How can they ruin it? Kenny decides to go see the fairies to see if he can get Mothra to stop and save them, without all the killing and destruction and all that good stuff. He lifts the anti-Mothra box from the fairies and says that he is here to save the girls, but they don't worry because Mothra is coming to save them. But you, Kenny, you are not safe. Mothra will destroy him and every Kenny in her way. However, his plan to save the girls is undone when Nelson and his goons arrive and stop him. Interesting that Nelson didn't put anyone to, guard these twins to make sure that, this didn't happen when they are so valuable to him. So the goons find Kenny and capture him and even decide to beat him up. Yay! Beat up Kenny! So Nelson has had the backing of his fictional country that he comes from, and the embassy was protecting him. However, not anymore, which means that Zen and the news team can go in and just get the fairies off him just like that. There is nothing to stop him. So decide to not waste any time and go straight to Nelson to get the fairies off him. However, it turns out that Nelson and his goons have done a runner, taking the twins with him and the anti-Mothra radio box, which means that they have no way of tracking them. Great plan, guys, giving the clearly evil guy a way for Mothra to not track the fairies and also a way for you to be unable to track the fairies. Worked out great, didn't it? Our heroes, everyone. So as they look around, Zen finds Kenny tied up and left there. Oh, can't they just leave him there for the whole movie? I mean, you can just pretend that you didn't see him. Just leave him there. But no, they untie him, so we have to have Kenny around with us. So then Mothra makes it to land and is on her charge to Tokyo. Where else? To get her fairies back. And we get some nice monster destruction scenes in the countryside. And this is the only time that Mothra was played by a person in a suit, by a suit actor. They did use puppets and animatronics in this movie, but you can also clearly see there are scenes where it is a giant Mothra suit. I can see why they stopped doing it, because it clearly doesn't look like it was easy to look around. Also, I really like the design of this lava. It looks much more big and bulky than later Mothras, making her look much more powerful, in my opinion. The military arrive and do what they do best, absolutely nothing, and Mothra continues her charge, destroying everything in her path, setting fires and spreading peace and love wherever she goes. And we see people evacuating, as the military continue to blow everything up. But Mothra is just not fazed and makes her way to Tokyo Tower, climbing up it. However, it collapses under her weight and she is stuck on her back. Is this the end for Mothra? Probably not, but the military stop attacking her as she looks thinking that she's hurt. But no, Mothra's larva stage is ending and she is making her cocoon to become an adult Mothra. But not before firing her silk at a helicopter, causing it to crash and probably killing everyone inside, burning them alive. Oh Mothra, you little devil, killing innocent people with death and love. So while Mothra is busy cocooning herself, meaning that there is a reprieve from Mothra's path of love and death and peace, the hunt is on to find Nelson as he is just about to board a plane to his home country of Alasia. The police stop him to see his passport, but because he's wearing glasses, they believe it's not the real Nelson. Wow, so Clark Kent was really onto something with his disguise. But Alasia has come to Japan to help them try and kill Mothra, as they have brought a new weapon, an experimental giant heat gun, that they just have, and they want to give to us. That's nice of them. So the next day, as they look over the ruined Tokyo Tower with Mothra's cocoon attached, the military bring their heat guns. I don't know about you, but these giant heat guns sort of look like the prototypes, like the first versions of the Maser tanks. Like, you can clearly see that because this technically takes place in the same universe as the Showa era Godzilla movies, that this is where the Maser tanks start from. Like, this is the first version of the Maser tanks, and later on down the line we see how they evolve into the more standardized Maser tanks. Good bit of theorying then. So with the heat guns all lined up, the countdown begins and everyone gets their anti-heat gun glasses on, apart from Zen, who nearly forgets, and we wouldn't want his eyes to be burnt out now, would we?
My eyes, the goggles do nothing.
So the heat guns blast away at Mothra's cocoon, eventually setting it alight, and everyone watches as the cocoon is burnt, everyone thinking Mothra must have been killed inside. We cut to Nelson in a farmhouse as he listens to the radio about that Mothra is dead and starts laughing evilly, thinking that they're off the hook and that everything is going their way now. And they laugh at the twins and taunt them. It's kind of funny just how much they love being evil.
Thanks, boss. What do you say?
6.5 hours later.
Hey, sing! It's good! Sing!
However, there was a reason why the twins were still singing. That's because Mothra is not dead. She lives, bitch! As Mothra breaks out of her cocoon and is a beautiful butterfly. Look at her majestic wings as they spread, as she looks so graceful as she takes flight. And oh god, her wings are massive and they're causing massive winds of powerful destroying everything, even the tanks and buildings. Nothing will stop. She's creating tornadoes of winds, of destruction, peace and love. And oh god, Mothra, stop! Stop! And Mothra is away, leaving Tokyo alone, finally, as she is heading towards Alasia. She's Alasia's problem now. Nelson isn't happy that Mothra is still alive, and has it out with his goons. It's a real abusive relationship. They should find a new evil boss to take orders from. Also, Zen and the others are on a plane to Alasia. You would think with Mothra on her way, this scene would be something suspenseful, but no, it's just there to show that our heroes are on the way to Alasia. It's sort of just filler, really. Mothra then makes it to Alasia, which is a made-up country, which its capital city looks an awful lot like New York, but I'm sure that's just a coincidence. So Mothra goes on her rampage, destroying the fictional city, and we get some great, amazing destruction scenes. And Mothra is really showing her wrath. This is the only real time we kind of see this side of Mothra, which, you know, it would be interesting to see them try and do something with this kind of Mothra again. I would like seeing that. So Nelson is trying to escape and he only drives into the town, full of people who recognise him and swarm at him, trying to get the fairies off him. However, he pulls a gun and threatens to shoot everyone. Really, he's gone off the deep end at this point. Even his goons aren't backing him. You know, Nelson is one of Toho's best human villains in any of these kaiju movies, I think, because, well, when we first see him, he acts all calm and dignified and classy, like he's a true statesman, a true upper-class person, and then we just see him in his final scenes just shouting and screaming at everyone, threatening to kill everyone in his path, truly going off the deep end. I just kind of like villains like that, how they just start off all, no, they're dignified and they're just not, they don't want to be the bad guy, but just now they're all just crazy and want to just shoot everyone in their way. So then the police show up and Nelson still won't give up the girls and even shoots a cop. I really do have to question what his endgame is here. But he tries to make a run for it and is gunned down by the police, and is killed. Thus is the end of the best character in this movie. The girls are retrieved and Mothra's path of death and destruction and love can finally come to an end. Oh, and you think I'm joking about this whole Mothra killing people thing? No, they put in this line which is just hilarious.
Thousands dead. Newkirk City in ruins. What can be done?
With how we know Mothra is expanded over the years as the guardian of all life, this is just hilarious in retrospect. And Mothra is not done as she destroys a bridge full of traffic, killing God knows how many people. So the gang realise that the Mothra symbol kind of looks like a cross next to the sun, and they could use the song to call Mothra over. They arrange for the airport to draw the symbol on the runway, and they use the church bells to play the song of Mothra.
In a way, it does look quieter.
Maybe because she's ran out of things to destroy and people to kill. Not really. Mothra hears the bells and sees the symbol and stops attacking and lands on the runway. The two twins are finally let go and they thank Zen and the others for their help. And they say that one day they hope to return, which could be friendly or maybe they want Mothra to destroy more. Who knows? But we do see Mothra take them away and they fly off into the sky, everyone waving them goodbye and smiling, saying goodbye to the kaiju that has killed thousands and destroyed countless buildings and lives.
My goodness. The pictures, I forgot.
So Mothra flies back home and the tribe dance and sing as the twins sing us into our end. And that was the original Mothra. All in all, I think it's actually quite a good kaiju movie. It's not as good as the likes of Godzilla or King Kong, but I see it as better than Rodan or Gamera. Yeah, definitely a good movie. The human characters are quite interesting and a good range of characters. Nelson being one of the best villain characters in all of the Toho movies, and it's a great tale of how greed can just corrupt and destroy you. It's a really interesting movie, some good characters. I mean, it even has a Kenny, and he isn't that annoying. He's barely in the movie, and he's not that annoying, which is always a plus. And also the city destruction scenes, as ever, are just really, really good. And yeah, it's a really well-paced movie. I would definitely recommend you guys seeing this. And with that, this review is over, and I will head back to the review. No, let's head back to the wheel. I flubbed my line there, but I'm going to carry on. Let's head back to the wheel, and I will see you guys next time as I review Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. I mean, I haven't already reviewed this movie years ago. Shut up. Bye.